Hello, this is Guy Siverson with Viral TNT. What I do within these videos is I interview people who help businesses to succeed in what they are doing on and off the web. Today's interview is going to be a little bit unique compared to other interviews that I've done. You see, today I would like to give a testimonial on how God has helped me in the last 3 weeks to take my business to a whole new level that I had never thought of before. These videos themselves are part of that process. See, about 3 weeks ago, I was praying that God would give me a direct plan on how to best reach my audience. I had tried video before, but it never had succeeded. Largely because I wasn't consistent, persistent, and deliberate in what I was doing. Then God gave me the idea of doing a podcast series that I could grow by interviewing other business people on what they do to help the professional world succeed. So I started doing that, started, working with different things and whatnot, and that led me to understanding more about Twitter. You see, at that point I had grown my Twitter audience to 25,000 people. But I wasn't getting the type of engagement that I needed from them, and that was another prayer point. So suddenly, God opens the whole connection with TweetDeck for me and gives me a precise plan on how to use that system to get the engagement I was looking for. The problem with that was that it didn't have anything to do with podcasting. And I even, kind of complained to God, saying, this doesn't make sense because it's not connecting with the other that you just gave me. At which point he said, it will. So I went forward in building that part of the plan, streamlining that whole process, and when I got that put together, suddenly I was impressed that rather than doing podcasts, I could do video. Same idea, same concept, same everything, just on a video instead of podcasts. I proceeded forward in doing that, and it worked extremely well. So it was at that point that I suddenly connected the two dots between my YouTube channel and the TweetDeck platform, with Twitter being my main focal point. When I had done other things and whatnot of my own accord, not being directed, I had often found that there was always a piece missing. Those pieces were all coming together this time like a fine-tooth instrument. The problem is because I have made this big shift in my viral TNT company, the income level from it was not there. Right? Basically, the company, as it relates to financial profitability, is kind of reduced at this point to the status of a hobby. And yet I needed some income coming in order to be able to sustain the growth process and take care of present responsibilities. I needed that even to the point that I had been driving for Uber/Lyft all through this time, so that I could have that income flow start. But for me, the profitability within Uber/Lyft is not enough to sustain long term. So I've been praying, Lord, I need something. I didn't have any clue what. Well, yesterday, I gave a ride to a couple who did work from home. He with his work and she with hers. And I inquired into what they do. They told me, and basically the conversation really focused on what she did, which I was very interested in, and I thought it was a good strategy, good way forward. Unfortunately, their trip destination ended before I could really hear more about what he did. And we parted company, and I went my own way. Picked my wife up from our church, and I was headed over to our home. And I was done for the day with doing my driving. God wasn't done though. My phone was in my pocket. The Lyft app that I was using was turned off. When suddenly I am being told that I have a ride pending within the app. Well, I scrambled to get my phone out of my pocket, and in the process of getting my phone out of the pocket, I accept the ride. Well, my pocket does, because I never really... And so now I've got a ride that I have accepted. This really gets good. So I decide, my wife and I decide we'll drop her off at Yoke's and go get the passenger and take them to their destination. I did that, explained the whole, everything, and we had a good laugh as we were heading to their destination. Well, the interesting part about that piece of the equation is I was actually not the first driver for them. The first driver had stopped to pick up some food, called their passenger, and they had said, I'm just picking up some food, then I'll be on my way. The passenger said, not a problem. It's not always the case, but in this case, he said, not a problem. The next thing he knew is that driver was dropped, and he had a new driver connected, which was me. This is all called providential timing and planning, because I was in the right place at the right time. through no fault of my own. I didn't even expect to be there. Anyway, on the way to dropping them off, about a minute, maybe two out from their destination, I get a statement on my phone saying, one rider has been added to your queue. What? One rider added to my queue? I wasn't even supposed to be driving right now. Fine, I'll go get this other rider. Who knows when I'll get back to my wife. I pick up the other driver, and before they got in the car, the couple that they were with said, well, have a safe drive home. And their statement back was, well, I think we will. This is the same driver that gave us the ride here, and we got here safely. Suddenly I realized it was the couple that I'd given a ride to previously that day. The one where I wasn't able to hear his story of what he does from home. So now I have the ability to hear exactly what he does. And I was spellbound and dumbfounded in the process. For what he proceeded to explain was everything that I had done back in 2011 to back before 9/11 and through to 2007 when I married my bride. It was a perfect job for me. Absolute perfect job. And why I'm interested in remote is an entirely different conversation. But the point is, I would not have even known about this unless God had orchestrated getting everything set up exactly to T, including me being in the right placement because of the ride right before. God knew I was going through the area too soon. Number one, he had to turn on my app. Number two, he had to make sure I was in the right place. Number three, he had to make sure that there were no other Lyft drivers there at that time. If you wonder if you're on this planet alone, let that testimony be an encouragement that you may know that you're not alone. You see, I have, at this point, I've now, I'm working on my cover letter that I want to send into the company. I've not gone any further, but step by step by step, everything seems like it was just aligned for me. I wasn't even trying. I was rather just positioned into the right place at the right time. That's why I know and I believe that God is fully in control of orchestrating events within my life, that they play out according to His will. That is true for anyone who chooses to surrender and allow Him to control their life, their business, their relationships. And I stand amazed. Amazed at a God that would care so much for us that He ensures and makes sure that every step along the way is correctly aligned for not only His will, but our success. I am Guy Siverson, the founder of Viral TNT. I interview people, in this case God. In this case it wasn't an interview, it was a testimonial, who are making a difference for other people in business, building business of their own. If you would like to be featured as one of my featured video people, reach out to me. Not only will I provide you this video of you where I'm interviewing like you will see with other people on my channel, but that's all for free. And I share it with my 25K plus Twitter followers who are focused on marketing, business, everything related to the world of business on and off the web. So if you would like that promotion at no cost financially for yourself, just reach out to me. Let's see what you got. Let's see if it makes sense. And I'll be glad to interview you. It does take between 15 and 30 minutes. But my desire, my goal, my hope is to help you succeed at what you're doing within the business world. Okay, so I look forward to hearing from you. You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Viral, V-I-R-A-L, TNT like dynamite, EAM. That's the best way to connect with me. All right, till we talk, here's hoping your business becomes the raging success you desire and deserve.